Hi there, thanks for tuning in. My name is Cody Kingsford. Please excuse the morning face and the morning voice. I'm making this video quite early in the morning. I have found myself in quite a special situation which I want to talk to you about. So I need to start by explaining my transition so far, and this is all about top surgery. So I came out to my best friends at 13. And already at that point, I knew that I would want a flat chest. I knew that I wanted top surgery way before I even knew I wanted to start testosterone, because as a 13-year-old, I didn't know that much about transitioning and stuff, and everyone I saw were far older than me, so the thought of being 13 and having like a big mustache and looking like an old man, because I thought that's what testosterone would do to you, that was quite off-putting, but I knew I wanted a flat chest. The year after, when I was 14, I came out to my parents and my school and everyone in my life besides like my grandparents and stuff like that. And at this point, I was very suicidal. I was struggling a lot because the reason why I sort of figured out that I was trans was when puberty started and I saw how my body was changing, and I felt awful about that. And when I realized and started identifying as a boy, seeing my body mature into that of a woman, so that of a female, was very, I was not having a great time. So I was taken to a therapist who didn't help at all with anything gender related. I was just taken there for other mental health reasons, and she looked at me weird when I mentioned the trans thing. Then I was taken to my GP, who sort of explained how all of this works in my country, which is Norway. So what you're supposed to do as a trans individual here in Norway is you're supposed to go to this place called the BUP, especially when you're young. You're supposed to go there. Other than that, there's other mental health services for older people. The BUP will treat you or like they will supervise you sort of for a year, maybe two, to eventually give you a diagnosis of gender incongruence, I think it's called. When you have that diagnosis after a couple of years, 1 to 2 years, or however long they see fit, they will send you to the university hospital. Now, just because you've been referred to there does not mean that they will accept you and take you in for actual treatment there. The waiting list there is also long, so just because you have been referred, you might need to wait a while, you might even not be let in. Once you're there, you have to go there for another 1 to 2 years maybe to get an official diagnosis by them. And then when you have that diagnosis, I think this is when you need to have like a test year to see, like you will have to live as your identified gender for a year. And then if you kind of succeed in that, you might be able to start hormones. Now, once you've started hormones, you need to be on hormones for a year before you're even put on the waiting list for surgery. Once you've been put on the waiting list, you might have to wait another 2 years, depending on how long the waiting list is at the time. And I'm not saying this to put off any Norwegians who want to transition, but I'm just trying to explain to you that this is a really, really long process. Had I known all of this when I was 13, I would have probably shot myself in the head. However, there are other ways around this. This university hospital, for several reasons, want to sort of have the monopoly on treatment of transgender individuals. And they are not a fan of private clinics. However, when I was 16 and extremely suicidal, I was granted the opportunity to start testosterone privately, and that was thanks to GoFundMe that I made on my channel. And that just saved my life. I have, on sort of the other side of that, I have been doing years of treatment in different things while I've been on testosterone, and I have gotten to the point of being at the university hospital. After a year of being there, I got the diagnosis. After half a year of having that diagnosis, I sort of had enough proof that I was trans to be transferred from a private clinic to their testosterone, which I don't have to pay as much for. Now, although I have at this point, when I got onto their testosterone in like January, February this year, although at that point I had been on testosterone for 2 years, which means I've been on testosterone for 2.5 years now, they wanted to see me be on their testosterone for a year before they even put me on the waiting list for surgery, which means that I will be 3 years on testosterone instead of just 1, which I find silly for multiple reasons, but anyway. When I'm put on the surgery waiting list, in hopefully February next year, I'll have to wait another 1.5 to 2 years before I'm able to have surgery. I'm starting university in Wales this September, and which you might realise there's a few complications that come with studying in another country while at the same time going to checkups and stuff at the university hospital. Because I go there every half a year to like see how I'm doing as a trans person living as a guy, you know. And then having surgery while I'm still in uni, which just won't be possible. I'll have to wait until after. I'm quite stressed about this, as you might realise. And last week, because there is this private clinic in Oslo, who I know a ton of people who have gone to, but obviously that costs a lot of money to get it done privately, but I know they're very professional and very good people there. I found myself in a moment of desperation, and I emailed them, because the private clinic isn't something, like, I've thought about it, but I haven't really considered it, because of, you know, it's sort of like, well, if I can get it for free, that's obviously the best option, and I don't have the funds at the moment for that, especially since I'm moving countries, and that will cost a lot of money. There's the deposit for university. I have to buy some new things in preparation for my studies, for like taking notes. I don't know. There's a lot of expenses right now with moving for the first time into a flat of my own. I'm renting the flat, obviously. I'm not buying it, but there's still a lot of money. Where was I? Right. But I did email that private clinic last week, and I was like, hi, this is probably not the case, but I just thought I'd shoot my shot just in case. Well, I explained my situation. I explained to them that I'm going to university in September. I'm really stressed about going there as a trans person, still feeling like I'm waiting for something. Still feeling like I'm not complete, as silly as that sounds. I'm blessed to not have the biggest chest. But I also can't bind because of my back issues, which is usually fine if I wear like loose clothing and stuff like that, but I still feel very self-conscious, and I feel like I can't do a lot of the things that I would be able to do with a flat chest, and I just feel more comfortable overall. Plus it's a seaside town, so I'm guessing a lot of my mates are gonna go swimming and stuff, and I won't be able to join them, and just things like that, right? And I feel very insecure in my body because of it, and I want to feel better when moving to another country, and there are all of these things happening anyway. So I explained that to them, and when I'm moving, and I asked, do you have any possible, like, available days for surgery before I move. I didn't really expect to get an answer back because it took quite a while, but yesterday I did get a reply, and they said they have a consultation for me if I want it next Friday, the 21st of July, and they have some days in August where I'd be able to have 4 weeks recovery time before moving to university. This is an opportunity that popped up out of nowhere, which I did not expect. Had everything gone as planned this year, I'd be able to pay for everything myself, because I was going to work. I had a contract with the Red Cross that I was going to work for this summer. Unfortunately, that was cancelled due to the whole pandemic, and I got to know that was cancelled when other jobs had already filled up their summer extra help thing. So I applied to maybe like 20 jobs without luck. This is an open window, which is a one-time chance, and I don't really know what to do. I was talking to some of my mates about it. I was talking to my brother about it. Now, I want to clarify that although economically things are very, very tight right now, I wouldn't need the whole surgery to be covered. I do have some money in my bank. I am very, very thankful for that. I have also my birthday coming up the 6th of September, which is after my surgery date, but I could ask for money for my birthday as an early gift. But I was talking to some of my mates about it. And what I decided to do is I'm not going to make a GoFundMe, because that has a goal that you're going to reach. And at this point, I've made a GoFundMe for my testosterone. I also made another one for some unrelated stuff, and I don't really feel comfortable doing that again. However, I decided that if you do want to chip in any amount, I will leave my PayPal link in the description. So, again, I won't need the whole surgery covered. I have some of the funds needed for that surgery. It's just that I'm very stressed with moving to another country and all of the costs that come with that I'm scared that if I use this large amount of money on surgery now, I will struggle once I move to university. And I won't have the money to have a great time moving out on my own and struggling a bit financially with that. If you do want to chip in and if you do want to help, you can, but you are under no obligation to. It would help me out a lot, being a bit more stable for all of these changes coming, but you're not obligated to. So again, I'm not making a GoFundMe, but I'm leaving my PayPal link in the description if you do want to chip in any amount, and that would be tremendously helpful. If you do want to donate to other people having top surgery who are in a worse situation than I, you can find a lot of those on GoFundMe. If any of you are in that situation, please DM me on Instagram. I'll leave my Instagram as well, and then I will share your link. Or you can also leave it in the comments and I will share your link to my description to give them some exposure as well, so that hopefully you can get help as well. I understand that I'm in a very special position with my followers, that I can ask for stuff like this, or not ask, but I can talk to about stuff like this. And that's another reason why I don't feel comfortable with GoFundMe right now, because I don't want anyone sitting there to see the amount, think that is, get their hopes up and think that they will get as much when they don't have an audience. They're not lucky enough to have an audience like I do, and then they get disappointed by not being able to have that chance because they're not in that privileged position. And I don't want to give anyone false hope, if that makes sense. So I think that's all I wanted to say. If you watch this whole video, then I am very, very grateful for that. I could have worded this better, I'm sure, and this is a scary thing to post, but I thought I might as well. So thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. To any Norwegians who heard me talk about how long all the waiting lists are, it is possible to not have to go through all of that. Me, for example, although you're supposed to be in BUP, like 1 to 2 years, usually that is the usual amount that I've heard from people, amount of time before they get a diagnosis by them and are referred to the university hospital. That was not the case for me. I was referred the 1 year, didn't get in. The next year, my therapist and my mum and my GP sent a new referral, basically saying that I was in such a horrible spot that I was about to commit. At that point, they took me in, and I had some haste sessions with them, and after just a few months, I had the diagnosis. So it really, really varies from person to person. This was just sort of the worst case scenario, usual amount of time that I've heard, but it's definitely possible to make it shorter. Or longer in some cases if there are any problems, which can occur as well. I'm just saying that this is not the best system and it's definitely faulty, but it doesn't have to be 10 years long. Then you'll be extremely unlucky. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all having a brilliant day, and stay safe and eat, drink, and do not hurt yourselves. Bye.